As we move past the age of 60, many people begin to notice subtle but unsettling changes. Standing up from a chair takes more effort. Climbing stairs feels heavier than it once did. Balance seems slightly less reliable. Most assume this is simply normal aging. But what if one small decision you make before 8 a.m. could dramatically change that trajectory? There is a simple, familiar breakfast food, something you've likely seen countless times, that can help protect your leg muscles and slow down the decline many older adults accept as inevitable. This isn't a medication. It isn't an expensive supplement. It's an everyday food that, when eaten at the right time, can support muscle preservation, improve balance, reduce nighttime leg cramps, and significantly lower the risk of muscle loss after 60. The problem is not that this food is rare. The problem is that most people overlook it. Even worse, many unintentionally make their legs weaker each morning by skipping breakfast, replacing it with coffee, or choosing refined carbohydrates that offer quick energy but no real muscle support. Some delay eating for hours. Others believe a light snack is enough. What they don't realize is that after 7 or 8 hours of sleep, the body enters a prolonged fasting state. Without proper nourishment upon waking, it begins to break down its own muscle tissue for energy. And which muscles are most vulnerable? The large, powerful muscles of the legs, the very ones responsible for standing, walking, balance, and preventing falls. This process is known as sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass and strength. According to the National Institute on Aging, adults over 60 can lose up to 1/3 of their muscle mass over a decade if no action is taken. The most concerning aspect is that sarcopenia develops quietly. There is no dramatic warning sign, no sharp pain, no sudden crisis. One day your legs simply feel a bit heavier. Another day you hesitate stepping off a curb. Eventually you find yourself pushing off with your arms just to stand up. It's easy to say, I'm just getting older. But aging itself is not the true enemy. The real issue is the gradual loss of muscle, the very tissue that keeps you independent. When leg muscles weaken, the consequences ripple through the entire body. Balance declines, stride length shortens, walking speed slows, circulation to the lower limbs decreases. Over time, this can trigger a domino effect: increased abdominal fat, reduced bone density, poorer sleep, decreased appetite, and even cognitive changes. Emotionally, it can lead to frustration and a sense of losing control over one's own body. Morning nutrition plays a critical role in interrupting this cycle. After an overnight fast, the body is primed either to rebuild or to break down. If you consume the right combination of nutrients early in the day, particularly high-quality protein and key micronutrients, you shift your body out of a catabolic state and into a protective, muscle-preserving mode. Research from Tufts University has shown that older adults who adopt a balanced, protein-rich breakfast can regain measurable leg strength within weeks. In some cases, improvements of over 30% have been observed when proper nutrition is consistently combined with light physical activity. The foods involved are not exotic or expensive. In fact, they are likely already in your kitchen. The difference lies in timing, consistency, and proper pairing. Your legs contain the largest muscle groups in your body. When they are strong, your metabolism functions more efficiently, blood flow improves, and daily movement feels more natural. When they weaken, everything becomes harder, sometimes before breakfast is even finished. The encouraging truth is this: muscle loss after 60 is common, but it is not irreversible. You do not need extreme workouts. You do not need complicated equipment. And you certainly do not need to accept declining mobility as your destiny. It begins with the first meal of the day. By choosing a breakfast that actively supports muscle repair instead of accelerating breakdown, you send your body a powerful signal: preserve strength, maintain balance, protect independence. Small daily decisions accumulate. Over weeks and months, they can determine whether you walk confidently into your later years, or slowly surrender mobility you once took for granted. Your legs are not meant to fail you quietly. With the right morning strategy, they can continue carrying you forward, steadily, securely, and independently for many years to come. The encouraging truth is that decline is not destiny. Even after 60, the body retains an extraordinary capacity to adapt and rebuild, especially when it is given the right signals at the right time. If you begin tomorrow morning choosing foods that actively support muscle repair instead of muscle breakdown, you can help your legs regain strength, improve balance, reduce cramping, and preserve your independence with every step you take. Science now confirms what many older adults are only beginning to realize. Your morning meal can either accelerate weakness or quietly restore resilience. The first foods you eat after waking influence circulation, nerve communication, muscle protein synthesis, and even the stability of your gait. And sometimes, the transformation begins with something as simple as a small shift in routine. Consider David, a 69-year-old former construction engineer. For decades, he climbed scaffolds, navigated uneven terrain, and spent long days on his feet without hesitation. But gradually, his mornings began to change. Getting out of bed felt heavier. His knees were stiff. His first steps were cautious, almost mechanical. Occasionally, his feet felt numb. Other times, they seemed weighed down. After a minor slip on his porch one morning, he wasn't shaken by the fall itself. He was shaken by what it represented. He felt as though he was slowly losing ownership of his own body. There were no major diagnoses, no severe arthritis, no diabetes. What he was experiencing is something clinicians see every day: the accelerated phase of age-related muscle loss that tends to intensify after 60, particularly in the legs, the largest muscle group in the body and the foundation of balance, mobility, and independence. After speaking with a nutritionist and reviewing current research, David discovered something he had never considered. Skipping breakfast and relying on black coffee first thing in the morning was quietly contributing to muscle breakdown. His body, still in a fasting state from the night before, had been pulling energy from his own muscle tissue, especially from his legs. He began making a simple change. He stopped skipping breakfast. Within 30 to 60 minutes of waking, he started eating foods specifically chosen to support muscle protein synthesis, circulation, and nerve health. Nothing exotic, nothing complicated, just targeted nutrition. Within 3 weeks, he noticed the first difference. Getting out of bed felt lighter. His steps were more confident. The nighttime leg cramps that had been waking him began to fade. By the second month, he was walking nearly 2 kilometers each morning without stopping. One day he told his wife, "I feel like I've gotten my legs back." His story is not rare, it is not luck, it is physiology. One of the most powerful morning allies for leg strength is something remarkably simple: whole eggs. Few foods deliver such a concentrated blend of high-quality protein and essential nutrients in such an accessible form. Eggs contain all the essential amino acids required for muscle repair, including leucine, a key trigger for muscle protein synthesis. For older adults, leucine is particularly important because the body becomes less responsive to smaller protein doses over time. The yolk, often misunderstood, is where much of the nutritional power resides. It provides vitamin D, vitamin B12, choline, and highly bioavailable iron. Vitamin D plays a central role in muscle function and balance. Vitamin B12 supports the protective myelin sheath around nerves, improving communication between the brain and the legs. Iron enhances oxygen delivery to muscle tissue, supporting endurance and recovery. Research from the University of Illinois has demonstrated that older adults who consumed 2 eggs daily over several weeks showed measurable improvements in muscle strength and functional independence. The mechanism is clear. Adequate high-quality protein early in the day interrupts muscle breakdown and activates rebuilding. For optimal benefit, eggs are best consumed within an hour of waking. Boiled eggs preserve nutrients without added fats, though a light scramble with leafy greens like spinach can add magnesium and antioxidants that further support muscle and nerve function. Equally powerful, though in a different way, is a bowl of oatmeal enriched with chia seeds. If eggs provide structural building blocks, oats deliver sustained energy. Oats are rich in beta-glucan, a soluble fiber that stabilizes blood sugar and reduces inflammation. Stable glucose levels are essential in older adults, whose metabolic flexibility often declines with age. When blood sugar remains steady, the body can more efficiently use protein for muscle repair rather than diverting resources toward managing glucose spikes. Chia seeds amplify these benefits. They supply omega-3 fatty acids, calcium, magnesium, and potassium, minerals essential for muscle contraction and nerve signaling. Magnesium and potassium, in particular, help reduce the frequency and intensity of nighttime leg cramps, a common and distressing symptom of muscle imbalance in older adults. Together, this simple combination supports circulation, stabilizes energy, and provides micronutrients critical for lower body strength. It is not flashy. It does not promise overnight transformation, but when used consistently, it sends the body a clear message: preserve muscle, protect balance, maintain independence. After 60, every morning becomes an opportunity. The question is not whether aging occurs. It does. The question is whether you guide the process or allow it to guide you. With the right breakfast, taken at the right time, your legs can remain strong, steady, and reliable for years to come. As we continue exploring how simple morning choices can protect your legs after 60, it's important to understand something fundamental. Stiffness, weakness, and cramping are not random. They are often signals that your muscles are not receiving the minerals, protein, and circulation support they need, especially after an overnight fast. Take oatmeal with chia seeds, for example. Many seniors experience leg stiffness after walking or standing for long periods. Magnesium, found abundantly in chia seeds, plays a direct role in muscle relaxation. When levels are adequate, muscles contract and release smoothly. When they are low, tightness and spasms become more common. Potassium works alongside magnesium to maintain proper electrolyte balance, ensuring oxygen and nutrients reach even the smaller, often overlooked muscle fibers in your lower legs. Good circulation is not just about the heart, it is about delivering fuel precisely where it is needed. Preparing this combination is simple. Rolled oats cooked gently in water or unsweetened nut milk create a steady source of slow-digesting carbohydrates. Stirring in chia seeds adds omega-3 fatty acids, calcium, magnesium, and potassium. A few slices of banana or a handful of blueberries provide natural sweetness and antioxidants that further support circulation. When eaten warm within an hour of waking, this meal helps transition your body out of its overnight catabolic state and into a rebuilding phase. Many older adults who consistently switch to this breakfast notice subtle but meaningful changes: improved balance while climbing stairs, less fatigue when standing, fewer nighttime leg cramps, and more stable endurance throughout the day. Oatmeal is no longer just a comfort food. It becomes a metabolic foundation for independence. The third powerful morning ally is something almost everyone recognizes: the banana. Often called nature's electrolyte source, bananas are especially valuable for seniors because of their potassium content. A medium banana contains roughly 400 milligrams of potassium, an essential mineral that helps maintain the electrical activity of muscle cells. Without sufficient potassium, muscles are more prone to misfiring, twitching, or cramping, particularly at night. Research from Harvard University has associated adequate potassium intake with a reduced incidence of muscle cramps in older adults. Beyond potassium, bananas also provide vitamin B6, which supports nerve communication between the brain and leg muscles. Better nerve signaling translates into smoother steps, improved coordination, and greater walking confidence. However, context matters. Individuals with chronic kidney disease or advanced type 2 diabetes must monitor potassium intake carefully. In those cases, a smaller, slightly underripe banana, higher in resistant starch and lower in sugar, may be preferable. Timing also matters. Eating a banana alongside protein, such as eggs, yogurt, or oatmeal, helps moderate blood sugar response and sustain energy rather than creating a quick spike. For most healthy seniors, one small banana in the morning is sufficient to support electrolyte balance and muscle stability. Simple, affordable, easy to digest, yet when used strategically, remarkably protective. The fourth breakfast option, Greek yogurt, addresses another critical issue after 60, overnight muscle breakdown. During sleep, the body naturally shifts into a catabolic state, breaking down tissue to maintain energy balance. Without adequate protein soon after waking, that breakdown can continue, particularly in the legs, where muscle mass is already vulnerable. Greek yogurt stands out because of its high protein density. Triple strained to remove excess liquid, it contains nearly double the protein of traditional yogurt. A typical serving provides around 17 grams of high-quality protein, including leucine, the amino acid most responsible for triggering muscle protein synthesis. Leucine acts as a signal, telling your body to rebuild rather than degrade muscle tissue. In addition, Greek yogurt supplies calcium and vitamin D, both essential for neuromuscular coordination and bone support. Strong bones and responsive muscles work together to maintain balance and reduce fall risk. Its probiotic content also enhances gut health, improving nutrient absorption and reducing low-grade inflammation that can impair circulation. A study from Maastricht University in the Netherlands demonstrated that older adults who consumed approximately 20 grams of high-quality protein each morning, combined with light activity, experienced measurable improvements in leg strength within 6 weeks. They also reported fewer nighttime cramps and greater stability. Not everyone tolerates dairy well. For those with lactose sensitivity, lactose-free Greek yogurt or alternatives made from goat or sheep milk may be easier to digest. The key is choosing plain, unsweetened varieties. Added sugars increase inflammation and interfere with muscle recovery, exactly the opposite of what you want after 60. For best results, Greek yogurt should be consumed within an hour of waking or shortly after gentle morning movement. Adding berries, cinnamon, or chia seeds enhances both flavor and nutritional value without compromising blood sugar stability. When you step back and look at these breakfast choices, oatmeal with chia, bananas used wisely, protein-rich Greek yogurt, you begin to see a pattern. Each one supports a different pillar of leg health: electrolyte balance, nerve signaling, circulation, muscle protein synthesis, and metabolic stability. After 60, strength is no longer accidental. It becomes intentional. And each morning, before the day truly begins, you are given a powerful opportunity to either allow silent muscle loss to continue or to nourish your body in a way that restores steadiness, confidence, and independence one step at a time. As we reach the final part of this morning strategy for protecting your legs after 60, we turn to a food that many people rarely consider for breakfast, yet its impact on muscle recovery and stability can be profound: salmon. Including salmon or other fatty fish such as mackerel and sardine at least twice per week in your morning meal can significantly support lower body strength. These fish are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA, which play a critical role in reducing chronic inflammation, improving insulin sensitivity, and enhancing the body's ability to use protein for muscle repair. For older adults, whose muscle-building response naturally declines with age, this combination is especially powerful. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has shown that adults over 65 who consumed fatty fish regularly maintained significantly more leg muscle mass than those who did not. Beyond muscle preservation, improvements were observed in walking speed, balance, and overall mobility, key predictors of independence in later years. The mechanism is straightforward. Chronic low-grade inflammation quietly accelerates muscle breakdown, particularly in weight-bearing muscles like those in the legs. Omega-3s help counteract that inflammatory process. At the same time, salmon provides approximately 20 grams of highly digestible protein per 100 grams cooked, along with vitamins B12 and D, nutrients essential for neuromuscular communication. When your brain and leg muscles communicate efficiently, your stride becomes smoother and more coordinated. Preparation does not need to be complicated. A fresh salmon fillet can be pan-seared in extra virgin olive oil for 3 to 4 minutes per side. Paired with steamed vegetables, avocado slices, or roasted sweet potatoes, it becomes a mineral-balanced, protein-rich breakfast. For those with limited time, a slice of unsweetened smoked salmon can be an alternative. While fish oil supplements exist, most nutrition experts agree that whole food sources offer a broader nutritional profile. If you have a history of fat digestion issues, fatty liver, or elevated cholesterol, portion size and preparation method matter. Opt for baked or steamed fish rather than fried. Begin with smaller servings and consult your healthcare provider if needed. When tolerated well, even one serving of salmon per week can serve as a strategic investment in muscle resilience and balance. Now let's talk about the hidden breakfast mentioned earlier. Something simple, inexpensive, and likely already in your kitchen. Steamed sweet potato with a light sprinkle of natural mineral salt. Sweet potatoes are an exceptional source of complex carbohydrates that replenish glycogen stores depleted overnight. Unlike refined starches, their fiber content slows digestion and stabilizes blood sugar, preventing the sharp spikes and crashes that can leave muscles underfueled. For legs that already face reduced circulation and age-related decline, steady energy delivery is essential. Beyond carbohydrates, sweet potatoes provide potassium, magnesium, manganese, and vitamin C, a combination that supports nerve signaling, muscle contraction, and healthy blood flow to the lower extremities. Magnesium, in particular, assists in muscle relaxation and helps reduce stiffness and cramping. When paired with an unrefined mineral salt such as Celtic sea salt, the effect becomes more targeted. Unlike highly processed table salt, natural sea salt contains trace minerals that contribute to electrolyte balance. Electrolytes regulate fluid distribution within muscle cells, allowing contractions to occur smoothly and efficiently. When balanced correctly, they can reduce cramping and support recovery. The method is simple. Half of a warm, steamed sweet potato lightly sprinkled with mineral salt, consumed shortly before your main breakfast and after a glass of warm water. This timing supports mineral absorption and helps stabilize blood sugar for the rest of the morning. When practiced consistently, even for a week, many older adults report lighter steps, reduced numbness, fewer cramps, and greater confidence when standing or walking. But nutrition alone is not the entire equation. Morning routines that protect leg strength must also include gentle activation. After eating, light movement, such as slow walking, chair rises, or calf raises, signals the body to direct nutrients toward muscle repair. Muscle tissue thrives on both nourishment and stimulation. After 60, strength is maintained intentionally. Each breakfast becomes more than a meal. It becomes a strategic decision. Eggs provide essential amino acids. Oatmeal and chia stabilize energy and electrolytes. Bananas support nerve and muscle signaling. Greek yogurt activates protein synthesis. Fatty fish reduce inflammation and enhance recovery. Sweet potatoes restore glycogen and mineral balance. Independence in later life is not preserved by chance. It is preserved by consistent, informed choices. And every morning offers a new opportunity to nourish your legs, the very foundation of your mobility, balance, and freedom. Your next step begins tomorrow morning. As powerful as the right breakfast can be, what you do in the first few minutes after waking may be just as important. After 60, small morning habits compound over time. They either reinforce strength and balance or quietly accelerate decline. One of the simplest habits begins before food. When you wake up, your body has gone hours without fluids. Mild dehydration and electrolyte depletion are common, and they often explain why some seniors feel heavy, tight, or slightly unsteady when they first stand. A glass of warm water, about 250 milliliters, with a small pinch of natural mineral salt such as Celtic sea salt or Himalayan salt, can help restore electrolyte balance. This gentle rehydration supports circulation to the legs, calms the nervous system, and reduces the likelihood of early morning cramping. Sip it slowly for several minutes before moving on to breakfast. The second habit takes only 3 minutes but can dramatically influence balance confidence. Before leaving your bedroom or living room, stand upright and lift one foot just a few inches off the ground. Hold for 10 seconds, then switch sides. Repeat 5 rounds per leg. This simple balance drill activates the calves, thighs, hips, and stabilizing muscles that tend to weaken fastest with age. More importantly, it sharpens body awareness, reducing the risk of missteps when you walk down the hallway or step outside. The third habit may sound surprisingly basic. Don't rush out of bed. Many older adults stand too quickly, triggering lightheadedness or instability. Instead, take 3 slow, deep breaths while lying down. Sit up gradually. Rotate your wrists and ankles gently to stimulate circulation. This brief pause reactivates blood flow to both the brain and lower body, allowing you to stand with greater control and fewer stumbles. Fourth, seek morning sunlight. Just 5 minutes near a window or on a balcony allows early daylight to stimulate vitamin D production. Vitamin D plays a critical role in calcium absorption, bone integrity, and neuromuscular coordination. Strong bones and responsive muscles work together to maintain stability, especially in the ankles and hips, where falls often begin. This small exposure also helps regulate circadian rhythms, supporting better sleep and recovery the following night. Fifth, avoid staying in a fasted state for too long. The longer you delay eating after waking, the longer your body remains in a catabolic state, breaking down muscle tissue for energy. If you cannot manage a full meal immediately, consume something small but strategic, half a steamed sweet potato, a boiled egg, or a small portion of oatmeal. Even a modest intake of protein or complex carbohydrates shifts your metabolism from breakdown to repair. When these 5 habits are combined with the breakfast strategies we discussed, eggs for amino acids, oatmeal and chia for mineral balance, bananas for potassium and nerve support, Greek yogurt for muscle synthesis, salmon for anti-inflammatory omega-3s, and sweet potatoes with mineral salt for glycogen restoration, you create more than a meal plan. You create a daily leg preservation system. Over time, shakiness begins to fade. Nighttime cramps become less frequent. Standing feels steadier. Walking becomes smoother. And perhaps most importantly, the quiet fear of losing control begins to dissolve. Every morning offers a brief but powerful window. You can allow muscle loss to progress unnoticed, or you can intervene intentionally. You now understand that healthcare does not begin in a hospital. It begins in your kitchen, often before 8 a.m., with the first decision you make. If you had to choose just one of these foods tomorrow morning to protect your legs, which would it be? Your answer could inspire another adult over 60 who is searching for hope and direction. Share it in the comments. If this message has helped you, consider subscribing to our channel and turning on notifications so you don't miss what comes next. In our upcoming discussion, we'll examine 3 common breakfast foods many seniors believe are healthy, but that may actually be weakening their muscles and contributing to cramps and instability. You are not powerless against aging. As long as you can strengthen your stride, protect your balance, and nourish your muscles intentionally, you are actively shaping your future. Thank you for staying until the end. I look forward to continuing this journey with you, because independence after 60 is not an accident. It is a decision made every morning.